we've also got a partnership with Ed for introducing entrepreneurship training and curriculum to our students. We've already had one field trip to Bridge Valley CTC where we took 30-some students. They had a nice STEM day where they got to experience robotics and look at all the different things that they had to offer at Bridge Valley. They spent the whole day there, came back, and it was a good time. There was a big post about it on Facebook if you didn't see that. AP Computer Science.
Okay, so I have the privilege of being in our AP Computer Science class this year. This is one of the first times we've done this class. And so we use code.org, and we're learning about data analysis and just working with computers and the internet and the possibilities. It's a big outreach in diversity in computer science. So statistically, there aren't very many females in computer science, but they are almost all females in this class. I think we have 2 boys. Yeah, the teacher is a female.
Our building construction class has taken the opportunity to go over to Beach Fork and work on projects there that the maintenance crew could not complete in a timely manner. They go over and they work things like shower tiles and building sheds and stuff like that. And we have introduced simulated workplace into regular education classrooms because we have found that students work better when they have a sense of purpose. So our FFA chapter went to state convention this summer, and we got a plaque for the fastest growing chapter in the state. We also go to Morgantown 2 times a year. We got back in September, and we found out we have a little bit to work, but we still did pretty well. And every year we make apple butter. We make it at the school one day, and then we go over to the Pumpkin Festival, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, if you guys want to come out and join us. And we sell them. It's a big, big fundraiser for our chapter.
Okay, so one big thing we've been working on here at Lincoln County High School is our food and clothing pantry. And so we fed about 50 families for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And then this is just for students who may need extra help getting food, and we can send boxes home with them, and the lovely Carrie Smith is over this. Okay, and so our PBIS program is our incentive for students who have good attendance and good grades. There's a rewards activity every 6 weeks whenever we get our report cards if you meet the criteria. So we've went bowling, we've been to the movies, there's been giveaways, and typically it's just something fun for the students to do, and it's just a reward for us. Okay, so
Enrollment data. I'm actually going to turn it over to Ms. Jessica Fry. We're going to talk about some of our data when it comes to that.
Well, that's a hard act to follow. I'll just stand back here and take some notes. We are in the process of becoming, I guess, more of a trauma-informed, trauma-sensitive school. Now, part of what goes with this is there is not a high school model out there to address this. So part of what we are doing now is collecting data, trying to find out our student needs, the things that we do, for example, food pantry, clothing pantry, those things we have addressed. What other things are out there that we are not meeting our needs of our students? Unfortunately, this day and time, traditional schooling is kind of out the window. Starting this school year for the first year, I can honestly say I have been hit with things that I've never, ever in my life encountered in school that these kids are dealing with. The traditional classroom, we have to kind of revamp how we're working with kids because it's just not going to meet their needs. When we're talking about assignments and kids are sleeping 4 different places during a week, or when we're just moseying along in our day and we get a phone call from a mother who says, hey, I don't want my kid anymore, do I need to tell her not to come home today? Thanks.
True story.
True story happened. Or we had a kid that ran away, and the mother posted on social media that if anybody would happen to see this child, to please contact the high school. This was on a Friday. We're not here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we have become the hub, the home, the family know they're living a rough life. It's kids that would blow your mind. So we're looking at our data and we're finding maybe more creative ways to at least flag our kids. A lot of kids will come right out and tell you that, like, I live a crappy life and that's how it is. But a lot of kids are still very defensive over their families and they don't want you to know this stuff, and there's a very poor stigma. So we're trying to identify those kids and what we can do. Option Pathway has been a blessing for many kids that just can't fit in the traditional model, and they just got caught behind and couldn't get caught up. Our counselors, plus the trauma team at the county, we will be attending handle of care training. We've also attended different types of trainings individually, and we meet monthly to discuss and share among the county what's working at this school and what's not working at that school. We plan to bring some training and some things to our staff on our faculty senate day to keep them in the loop. We want to start a steering committee here with teachers and staff that are actually going to try to help steer the direction that we move with things, because there's not a model. It's just kind of be creative, throw it out there, see what works, see what doesn't, and go from there. But we know without a shadow of a doubt that a high percentage of our kids are living in very traumatic situations every day of their life. And with the new federal legislation or whatever that's coming about, I think with Family First next year, that's going to bring a whole new chapter of things to a school system to deal with. Because the idea behind that is to not remove kids from their homes. It's to leave them within their homes regardless of the situation that they are living in, and try to give them the support system to change those homes. And that's coming in 2019. So I'm sure with the judicial system, DHHR, a lot of kind of programs are going to be changing, things are going to be changing, and this is where it's going to land. I mean, this is where it's going to land, and we've got to find ways to help our kids. And I will say that I am blessed with administrators that say, you do what you need to do. Not every school's like that. You don't realize that until you start talking to other people and they say, well, you know, Mom wouldn't do that. No, we are here for the kids, and we will err on the side of the kids always. But we're really faced with some big challenges coming soon. So I'm kind of glad we're on the front end of it and creating this as we go. And who knows, we may have the best model in the world. But it's not getting better, let's just say. So now that I've been doing my bloom.
Well, since we're facing, like, our whole goal here is to change complacency to resiliency. Because we all have those brother or sister come from the same family. One goes one direction, one goes the other. Our goal is to try to find out, why is this person a high achiever and this person complacent? So that's our ultimate goal.
And that ties back into simulated workplace in the regular classroom. It ties back into us reinstating like intramural and club days to get kids engaged, and because this is like she said, this is the hub of the community. This is where kids come. This is where kids stay. Kids want to be here, so we need to make it worthwhile while they're here.
Yeah, the little girl that I mentioned that the mom called and said to tell her not to come home, she's never missed a day of school the whole time that she's been with us. And all of that chaos, she has been at school every time. And the ironic thing to this, every time that there's a problem, and there's been a ton, because Dad doesn't want her home either, she comes to my office, she goes to Officer Freese's office. I mean, we are the parents, we are the adults, we are the educators, but we are actually kind of the people that are going to have to teach these kids how to function in society. And in the grand scheme of things, yes, education's important, but they need to know how to cook, and they need to know how to grocery shop, and they need to know how to live. And they're not getting these skills. They don't know how to play games. They don't know how to joke and have a good time. Their life it's survival. Mr. King and I made a joke. I mean, these kids are constantly in fight or flight. And that's what we have.
All right, with that out of the way, let's talk about our facility needs. We've kind of boiled it down to It may look like a few different things up here, but it's literally just one big thing. It's all about school safety. And our facility needs, the big, we mentioned it last year, nothing changed. We really want to push, we need a consolidated camera system here. As of right now, we've got 3 different camera systems. The old Pelco system, we've got new 360 cameras, and it's a wide range of qualities from one video to the other. There have been a couple different times in just in the last few weeks where there might have been a fight or a scuffle or something in the hallway, and we went to go pull camera footage, and all the cameras weren't recording because the schedule was off, or the quality was so bad you can't tell which kid is which coming down the hallway. Most of our cameras in this building are for building security, which means they face exterior doors. Sean and I are going to take some time next week and map out all the camera systems physically on blueprints, but we have a lot of blind spots in this building. In this room, in particular, I think there's 1 camera, and it's facing the 2 doors right here as you come in over here. Most of the cameras face exterior doors, exterior hallway, the things where entrances where people can come into the building, but we don't have a lot of security in the middle of the hallways or in some places that probably need a 360 camera, a high-def camera. Because a lot of the cameras that we have on the old system have been here since the school first opened. Some have been replaced because of damage, but we would like to see everything consolidated down into 1 camera system, some new DVRs to record the stuff, coverage in places that we don't have. There was an incident last week where a girl's car got dinged in the parking lot, and it was just at the edge of the range of the camera. So you can't really see which kid came to and did it. And a lot of the stuff that we had to deal with is you had to track the kid back to where he came from and try to watch where he walked out the building. It takes up a lot of time tracking through multiple cameras at multiple times, especially if they're on different systems. And then we don't have coverage. There was a break-in at the soccer complex down there. We don't have camera coverage down there. So we weren't able to see who was driving down there, what happened, it was an accident on purpose, whatever. 2 other things that we would like to see when it comes to school. Go ahead.
Back up the cameras a second. 2 questions. Now, as far as the monitors that the cameras that you do have are shown on, are there more than one of those locations?
Several of our monitors, with the new camera system, those are IP-based. So there's software that I have installed on my computer, Sean has on his computer, it's on Mr. Miller's computer, so we can access those in different places in the building.
Is it on Mr. Priest's computer?
It was. He did have a whole computer setup in there, but it was a little bit more difficult for him to navigate it, so he just tends to either come to myself or Mr. Miller or someone else like that when we need to look up the video footage. But like I said, if it was consolidated into 1 system, that way I would like to see them all be IP based, that way we can, remote in. A lot of times you can remote into it from your phone if you had to. You can remote into it from my office, the main office. You need a decent computer with a good video card to render that video out, but we were able to do it in one of the new teacher laptops that we got in the other day. But again, those are 3 different systems, and we had to go from that nice 360 camera, like the ones we have in the labs and some of the bays down there that have really good quality. I actually, in one of the teacher's classrooms that had that, I was able to literally see the eraser that this kid was throwing at another kid in his hand as he's twiddling it around because the quality was that good. Yet there was an incident down the hall where 2 kids got into a scuffle 10 feet away from a camera, and you couldn't even make out the faces. Because
I certainly understand what you're saying about the quality of the cameras, but I'm thinking of somebody being able to see what was going on at a given time. If something's going on, and I might go back and say, well, here's this recording, I saw that this happened, opposed to seeing something and it is happening. I guess thinking of, that's why I had Mr. Priest and Officer Priest in mind. Obviously, I know he doesn't stay in his office all the time.
Oh, no,
But,
I mean, it's out and about.
But if the locations where these things are available, if an intruder came in an outside door that was unlocked or happened to get in by some way, that someone would see them coming in right then when it happened, not later on when we were trying to, go back and see what happened, how this occurred. And then the other thing, do you have any, when you say additional 360 cameras, do you have any idea of the number of those you're talking about?
Like I said, we haven't had a chance to map all those out yet. This has been an extremely busy school year opening. I think we've had hardly any time to sit down and do it.
Do any of, are your all's thoughts at all considered classroom cameras also?
Well, as of right now, we've only put classroom cameras in labs and in shop areas where we need that additional security, where there were computers that might get messed up, or in the shops where accidents or something like that might happen.
Well,
not really in the
anyway.
classrooms themselves. A lot of our incidences are in the hallway, if I'm not right. Right now.
Well, but also in the classrooms, things happen too.
They do.
I'm just thinking, if we could, I'd be curious as what the numbers are, that you're all looking at, in addition to what the numbers would be for classroom use too.
We could definitely look at that.
Well,
like I said, we're going to sit down next week and go out and physically map out where our cameras show next week. We had an incident in the gym where a kid lost his earbuds and somebody else had picked them up. And the cameras that are in there, there's 4 single cameras pointing in each different direction of the main gym. They were all on, you can see them in real time, but the schedule where we had a power out, the scheduling was off on those cameras. So 3 of the cameras weren't recording, 1 was. And it just so happened, it was like the one camera was not where this kid dropped his stuff.
That's what
Yeah, it's always the case. I was like, good news, we fixed the cameras. Bad news, we didn't see who picked up your headphones.
Just a thought to keep in mind. Mr. Kirby or something?
Yeah, I have something. In other words, you do not have a monitor in any room that's constantly monitoring the building.
At one point in time, the TV monitors in your classroom, Matt Miller has one in his office where they're running all the time. They all constantly run back here in the server room, but there's no one in that room 24/7, or whenever we're in school, because it's a loud, noisy room. But the idea is if we had all the different systems, right now you can only access 2 of the 3 camera systems from in that room. So there are, like I said, there are a lot of blind spots that we would like to see filled. If we were able to get a unified camera system, then we'd be able to pull them all up from one location. And that could be a laptop, a computer, big TV.
I was talking with Sean the other day. I used to take a lap for being like an iPad with me all the time because I do walkthroughs and everything. And he was saying if we update our system to this new one, he'd be able to put those cameras access to it on an iPad. So if you had one with you at any time, you could pull it up and see live action. That may be a positive thing. I didn't know if you mentioned that to you or not.
Yeah, he did. That's what I was saying. That's why we're looking at like a unified system where it's not just.
Well, I know in some of the, you're all, obviously, your all schools much larger, but some of the elementary schools in the office area, they'll have several monitors and they can see, some of them are smaller than some.
We have that, and Matt has that, but the problem is, we don't sit in our office all day.
Well-
We sit there looking at the monitor.
I understand that, but if you have these, at some point, some of them are large, I don't know how many screens you have to be, if you were to have, ideally.
Each program has different numbers of screens, because I got 2 ones on mine. Mine has the old Pelco cameras, which is just a set, they're that big.
And yours is a
but you-
hardwired connection from this back office.
Well, but you can blow up any of those, that would be suspicious, right? Okay, I'm just saying, the pure numbers that you would have to cover the whole school would be, I don't know how many, a whole bunch.
Hundreds of cameras.
Yeah.
It'd be good. It'd be
Yeah,
fine.
well, but at the same time, I know that, once again, that for someone to be able, if they saw something, I'm gonna go back to the obvious, of where somebody comes in, that you're
Right.
not wanting. But I can able to click on that, then I can blow it up and I can see.
And I think that's what he's talking about, those cameras are actually pointing toward those doors, so if someone would come in, the majority of our cameras aren't pointing toward those doors, so we can see that actually occur.
Yeah.
We're saying we need more than that. We're just more than just monitoring doors, we need to make sure we can monitor it.
Right, and I understand that, but a lot of that is, to try to see what's happening after the fact.
Right.
And I'm just trying to see how we can monitor things as they're occurring to maybe prevent something else from happening.
I was gonna say, right now, we have really good coverage with teachers who stand in their doorways between classes, teachers that monitor during hallway sweeps and things like that. So we have a good amount, but we don't always have, like I said, in the CTE hallway, there are a couple different blind spots in that long hallway where we have a camera in the hallway. facing a door, camera at the other end of the hallway facing a door, and another camera facing a bathroom. But that T section in the middle is wide open. So if something happens in the middle there, two kids get into a scuffle, somebody pushes somebody has an accident, trips and falls, it's not covered by camera, so we can't just look back and see what happens. A lot of those other cameras are also hit up with a motion detect, so it gets a little dings, it records when motion happens. So a lot of times we can pick up those things.
What you want to do, are you going to prioritize where you think they should be added next?
Yes, that's what we want to do, is we want to go through and find out where the cameras are and mark them on a physical map. We'll have blueprints of the school printed up, ready to go. We're just going to mark where the cameras are at physically, what the IP number is of that camera, which system it's on, and which way is it facing. And then we'll highlight those, and then once we get the map all done, I'm a social studies guy, I love maps. It's easy to track all that stuff and see, oh, we've got huge gaps here, we've got huge gaps here. Do we need a 360 camera here? Do we need 2 directional cameras here? Depending on what part of the hallway it's at. So, and there's a couple places where we can consolidate some of the old camera systems. If we replace 2 or 3 old cameras with one 360 high def in some main traffic areas. For example, right out here by the elevator. We've got a couple of directional cameras, but there are blind spots right by the stairs.
That's what I want to do. You're going to prioritize what you
Yes.
think should be done first.
Yes. But the big one is to getting all the cameras onto one system so we can access them from one location, whether it's a laptop here, something mobile, so we don't always have to come running back to the server room to pull up all the information on that, So we've got, actually, when we replace some of the TVs in teachers' classrooms this year, we're not replacing them with projectors, we're replacing them with like 65-inch televisions. We're taking the old 30-inch televisions that were hanging in the room for like Channel 1 and stuff like that. We've got 3 of them sitting back there ready to set up in a camera display area where we could have 3 sets of monitors running all the time with cameras. That was one of the things that we prioritized at the beginning of this year with switching the storage area and the server room. Along with the cameras, though, there are 2 other main things that we would like to see. Some of it was a little more intensive, but a secure entrance here for the front of the building. With all the different school shootings and things that you hear about, somebody comes to the front to get in, they buzz, there's a camera. Then once they get buzzed in that front door, they have straight access. There's nothing funneling them straight into the office. They come in and then they have access to students. We'd like to see something like what they have at Harts, where it's a secure entrance, they come in one door, and then there might be something like along the lines of like a pharmacy window, where it's the big glass window with the drawer that opens up. So people can, if they have deliveries, they can make the deliveries here, and they don't get direct access to students. Because sometimes what will happen is, parents that are bringing their kids food and things like this, they're just coming straight in, giving stuff, because technically we're not, parents can bring stuff to their kids, they can't bring stuff to other people's kids, and a lot of that's happening. And along with the secure entrance here, we would like to maybe see a guard shack or something similar like the Huntington High School or Cabell Midland, where they have those where somebody sits down in front, so as visitors come in, because this is a closed campus, they either check in there and are given directions to where, parking is, or guest parking or visitor parking, and then instructions on coming to the office and checking in. And also that would help prevent a lot of students from skipping school, going out during lunch, because we've seen that on several different occasions where, go through the McDonald's drive-through and 3 cars, the next 3 cars behind you are different students who've slipped out to go get McDonald's and come back and bring it for all their friends. Not that that's a horrible thing, but it is a security issue with people coming in and out. Plus, then they can double it up and like ticket money for soccer games. Stay dry. And that's it. I think we are done. That is everything. Unless you guys have any questions.
If I have anything
You got
else.
some good questions already. All right,
Okay,
ladies,
well,
thank
those
you.
are members of the committees, we can see who those are.
It's everyone we talk about. Mr. Schneider, Mr. Miller, myself, Mr. Neal, Debbie Atkins.
Ms. Vance.
Ms. Vance isn't here. She's last on the list. It's okay. And then
She's not
Chloe
here.
Karen.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate that.
Actually, she got ill earlier today and had to go home. She was planning on being here, promise.
Okay. Mr. Snyder, anything else, any words of wisdom or anything for us?
Just appreciate it, you guys have done it for us.
Once again, thank
I'm
you
sure
for
you
your
will.
hospitality. Look forward to hear more from you all. Okay, well, that was our final LSIC meeting. Everyone that's here that's connected to that, that wants to do something else, we feel we understand, feel free to leave. If you'd like to stay, you're welcome to do that. Let's look at the administrative section. Anybody give a motion, please? Ms. Curry, Ms. Wilkerson seconded that motion. Mr. Midkiff.
Item A is school volunteers who on occasion may also serve as bus chaperones for athletic events, academic competitions, or school outings, and have completed volunteer orientation. Item B is adoption of policy 5330, use of medication. It's hard to been running there since Teresa was addressing the board of this policy. Item C is a contract with Ann Gandy to provide training and assistance to Treasurer Ray Ellis, a total of 10 days, retroactive, dating back to 9/24/18, 6/30/19, according to the terms of the contract that is included in funding for the county.
Anybody have any questions about these items? Okay, Lon, is that an all yes vote? Yes. All right, finance section, have a motion, please? Carol made the motion, Rowdy seconded that one. Bill?
Item A, scheduled invoices totaling $666,358.65. Attachment invoices available for public review at the county office. Item B, the purchase of one 2020 Bluebird 53 passenger Vision gasoline-powered conventional special education school bus with identified specifications at a cost of $93,310. There's an attachment to the claim. And it has a blue bird on it, that means it's gas.
There you go, you're catching.
Blackbird, it's diesel.
That's right. Well, there's another bird covered too, but I forgot what it is.
Just a question on that. Since this is a 2020 model bus that we're buying it, when are we gonna actually buy it? And you put in an order and wait a year and a half to get it?
I just saw that too.
I'm trying to think back to what Mr. Kennedy told me. I think we could go ahead and put the order in for it now, but we will, as we typically do, we won't get the bus until this summer.
We just got those gasoline.
Look at it, all the lot.
Yeah, typically we lose.
That's what I'm saying, I mean, if you're anticipating we're gonna get it in the summer of 2019, but it'll be a 2020 model?
That seems like what you shared with me.
Okay.
I'll
Guess that makes
check.
absolutely no sense to
I'll
me,
check
but-
with them to make sure, but I think that's what.
I mean, that's great if you're gonna trade it in, you get it used for 6 months before it's current model. I mean,
What's
that's
this
what it works
say?
in cars, but
Not for 93,000.
New 2020. Rowdy, that's what he told me, and that's what's on this agreement.
Well, the way they do them, I mean, they're always, aren't they building what you order or something?
I know what you're saying, but it doesn't make any sense.
He'll let you know.
I'll check.
well, I mean, I don't need an answer. I mean, it's gonna be whatever model it's gonna be. And
It's still gonna cost $93,000.
93 grand, the same number seems to be one on the same specification. There's probably not gonna be any difference in 2019, 2020, 2021 model. But that just struck me as odd that we're gonna buy this in 2018, and we're gonna maybe get it in 2019, it's gonna be brand new for 6 or 8 months while we own it, so.
We'll find out, and maybe that little bird will be different.
Maybe it will.
2020 may be an updated bird.
I never even thought when he mentioned it.
I did.
That it was a 2020 bus.
Maybe that's a secondary model number.
We'll find out.
We're gonna get to the bottom of that. Kirk?
Right on that morning, I'll see Mr. Cummings at 7:30.
Be the first thing in the morning.
It's 2020.
He'll be going, what? Okay, is that an all yes on finance?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to personnel, please.
Move.
Rowdy made a motion and Fred seconded that one. Bill again.
Okay, let me get over to it. Item A, appointment of short and long-term substitute professional personnel. Item B, number 1 there, strike Ray McLeod and put in Michael Porter, employees be C, employment of extracurricular personnel. Item D, leave of absence. E, retirement and resignation. And also have you a copy here. We did find a counselor at Midway that will be referred, that will be recommended, will be on the list for the 16th. We found a halftime special ed, at Ranger, and halftime at Guy Valley, which will be on that agenda. So, we're finding some people, so.
Made a little progress.
Yeah, made a little progress. Still, it's, still got some challenges along with everyone else. If you go to the Department of Ed website the other day, I was on there and there's 62 special ed jobs posted. And every state, every county will put them on there. Same with math, same with science. Elementary, you need to wait 10 years to get an elementary job, 25, 30 of them posted. So that's where we are. We just keep plugging away and trying to get everyone we can. There's some that come that we're certified, but when you call about references, we're better off with the sub.
Okay, that's personnel. Anybody have any questions? Not, all yes on personnel? Yes, sir. All right, move back to comments and concerns. Board members? Mr. McKee.
Assistant principal position at West Hammond Elementary, we're going to conduct those interviews Thursday. We have 6 applicants, 4 in county, 2 out of county. Plan is to have a recommendation to the board at the October 16th meeting for that position. So, we've got some good applicants. Mr. Weaver, we'll talk about the food service director position.
Yes,
Let's do that.
As on tonight's agenda, you can see that Angie Pritchard retired, was going to retire the 31st. All the times before, that was a director's position. And when it became available last time, we had a cooperative agreement with RISA, Campbell County actually, to, that Rhonda down there would get paid $10,000 to help with nutrition and all those things that Angie could. Well, at this time, we do not have an Angie who worked in food service for 10, 15 years, so we don't think we can go that route. We're probably going to have to be looking at hiring another director, food service director, probably the route we're going to have to go.
Well, you also would probably point where Rhonda's going to retire too.
Yeah, she's going to retire, so we don't know if we'd have anybody to have that agreement with her. But I have a draft job description here, I'll give you another day. But it's a pretty broad qualification, of course, this is what we had before. Sometimes I think the broader the qualifications are, the more applicants, qualified applicants. You start narrowing it down, that they have to do this. So there is,
But really, it's one important one you've ever had.
Yeah, such a unique situation.
And the situation there too is with service personnel laws, it's whoever has the most seniority to get. If we went that route again, it wouldn't matter.
And is this what you're proposing, Dustin? Is this a service or a professional?
This is professional.
A professional position.
And it's the same job description we had before we went the other route, so we didn't really abolish this at that time. There's just a couple changes in there about policy 5202 that we made updated with the certification policy in it.
So are you saying this was the job description of Ron McCoy?
Diane
Oh,
Mills,
Diane, that's right.
Diane was here.
All right, so if this was the way we would revise this job description and post it,
This is the revision, revised.
but the board hasn't approved this revision.
No, they have not.
So that's what I'm saying, so you would have to be revised job description, then I'm gonna be able to read.
Just approval of post, yes.
Already, because you said it wasn't abolished, right?
The job description was never.
Well, I'm talking about the position itself.
The position was never abolished.
All right, okay.
So on the next board agenda, then on the 16th, we'll need to have this job description there. If we want to push it.
Right.
I guess in the meantime, though, we'd like to go ahead and post the position, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, 31st. That was kind of, we heard Andrew was going to retire December, then we heard she's going to finish the year, then she just come down the hallway one day and said, I'm leaving. I think she's helping take care of some family. That's it.
Good. Okay, so I guess if anybody has, you have the opportunity to look through this job description, if you see anything in there that you would like to add or have questions about, I'll share with you. Before next board meeting.
Does that have a financial implication? I mean, for the board, I mean, is it gonna be much more expensive to pay?
It's going to be a little more expensive.
A little,
Not-
okay,
not-
nothing,
not that
okay,
much.
that's fine.
Now, I guess it's a follow-up to Sean's comment. As far as our agreement with Rhonda McCoy, would he going to be bound with that? Or do we know the answer to
I
that?
don't know that answer. I'll have to check with Jan and Ron into this year.
So I guess the worst case scenario, we have to pay her to help train our new person.
It's supposed to be. Let's see. I'm having, we're not, Larry's been looking at some of the notes and I would request, I'd like to request a legal update. I just need a few minutes of your time on a personnel matter.
Is that all you have other than?
That's it.
No more posted. All right, Mr. Midkeefe has requested a legal update, executive session 7:23 p.m. What's the pleasure of the board? Have a motion to that effect. Mr. Baker made that motion.
Second.
Mr. Wilks seconded that motion at 7:23 p.m. Executive session.